dragging something, dragging a sausage. Look, this is motor oil. And right here we have flour. And here I have everything for motorists. And right here, as I understand, we have pet food, cat food, dog food. And look at this, a whole jar of red caviar, right? It even says red caviar on it. Who doesn't love shopping? I think many people enjoy watching shopping videos. And today we have a very unusual video. The thing is, we're now near a store that's commonly referred to as a store for the poor by many people. Although that's probably not the right term, since the Sopor chain of stores, which is what these stores are actually called, is very popular throughout the post-Soviet space. The fact is that this store primarily serves people who are trying to save money, who are trying to find cheaper goods. This franchise operates across practically the entire former Soviet Union. Well, let's not talk too much and let's see what kind of store Sopor really is. Hi friends, my name is Julie and you're watching Soviet Born, a channel where we tell the whole truth about the Soviet Union that no one else will tell you. So stay with us, it's going to be very interesting. How is this store different from other supermarkets? The thing is, they save on everything. They save on rent. As you can see, we're far outside the city, at an old ore space, which stands for Workers' Supply Department. Back in Soviet times, these were warehouses. If we come closer, you can even see an old label from those times. In case of fire, call 01. Genuine Soviet warehouses. They save on store setup, which you'll see for yourself soon. And most importantly, it's about the manufacturers who sell their products in this store. Most items presented in Sopor are from unknown brands. Many of these manufacturers play a bit of a game and make imitations of famous brands. So shopping here is really 50-50. Sometimes you will get lucky, sometimes not. And most people who shop here are experienced shoppers. People who come here regularly and know exactly what they're buying. And most importantly, in the Russian-speaking information space, this chain is one of the most popular. Nobody admits to shopping here, but many people do. Let's go into the store right now. This ore space facility is actually very, very large. We're entering the store now. So this is exactly what the store looks like inside, just so you can fully understand. These are indeed the original old warehouses. They save on absolutely everything, on electricity, on equipment, and all the products are simply placed right on the pallets. Well, I suppose this particular type of retail organization is quite familiar to all of you by now. So let's take a walk around together and see exactly how everything looks here. This particular store sells both industrial and food products of all kinds. There are always lots and lots of people shopping here because the prices are really quite affordable indeed. Look here, you can see that everything in this store is sold in large bulk packages. Right here, we can see household soap in these large bottles. Not of the best quality, of course, as you might expect. The brands on these labels are completely unknown to most people. Similarly, they sell liquid soaps, toothpaste. Absolutely everything is mixed together on these shelves. I specifically wanted to point out to you, as I mentioned before, that many manufacturers try their very best to at least visually imitate well-known brands. Let me show you a perfect example right here. There's this toothpaste called Pepsodent, but here it's written as Ricodent. If an elderly person, for example, sees writing like this, they might easily think with their failing eyesight that it's some kind of original branded product. But in reality, it's absolutely not the case at all. The same thing applies here. You see, if you just take a quick glance at it, it really does appear to be some well-known brand because of the packaging design and color scheme choices. But in actual reality, it's all carefully made to imitate more famous brands and is specifically designed so that people with poor eyesight won't notice the difference. They'll just see the attractive price, get excited about the deal, and be really happy with their purchase. Do you see what I mean here? I want to tell you that while, for example, the packaging looks exactly like the original and everything, here's a big secret for you. Much of what you see here isn't actually original product at all, because truthfully, most of what's sold here is counterfeit merchandise. And then it's really just a matter of luck, whether you get higher quality counterfeit items or lower quality ones. There's a refrigeration unit working here, so it might be a bit noisy. Now we're approaching. Here we have these little jars that are made to look like red caviar, but of course, this isn't red caviar at all. There's nothing caviar related in here whatsoever. All of these products are just caviar imitations. And look at this same thing here. A whole jar of what appears to be red caviar, right? It even says red caviar right on the label. Although, as you can see, they have quite a lot of it stocked here. But in reality, of course, this isn't red caviar at all. These are all just imitations and fake versions of red caviar. Spreads, red caviar they call it. When people buy these products, they're perfectly aware that it has absolutely nothing to do with the original product. It's not real red caviar at all. Because people don't have enough money, they're willing to buy these alternatives instead. These items are especially popular for holiday dinner tables and celebrations. Regarding meat products and processed meats, I would most likely not recommend buying any sausages or meat products here at all. For the most part, these are rather low-quality products of questionable origin, because I've spoken many times with people who bought meat products here, like these sausages. But again, these are only bought by people who are really struggling financially. And when buying these processed meats, even though they might have the right color and smell, in reality they have absolutely nothing in common with genuine meat products. Many people discuss and share information about which products are safe to buy and which ones should be avoided. Generally speaking, everyone criticizes this chain. People don't particularly like it and mostly say things like, "We would never shop there." But nevertheless, it remains one of the most popular retail chains throughout the post-Soviet space. If it's being sold, then somebody must be buying it. That's just how it works. Let's take a look at the ready-made food section. We have pelmeni, vareniki, all in packages like these. These are the most popular products, also very inexpensive, from unknown manufacturers. Hot dogs, frozen sausages. Well, this is what they look like. This is how the freezers for frozen foods look. There are even shrimp here. And right next to it we have pollock, another fish. You can see for yourself how old and dirty these display cases are. But again, it's all about cost cutting. They save money on everything, buy the oldest equipment possible, and this is how it all ends up looking. Here we have the frozen food section. These are different types of ground meat: chicken, beef, and pork. Right next to the ground meat, we have these sochnie pelmeni, and then more frozen foods: whole chickens, fillets, and here's meat, all piled together, along with chicken legs. Look how everything is mixed together. Chickens right next to leg quarters, and here are beef medallions. There's clearly no strict adherence to proper product placement or sanitary standards here, because everyone understands it's all about keeping prices low. And look here, this is the refrigerator, here's our freezer display case, and if you turn around immediately, right next to it, they're selling motor oil and all sorts of automotive supplies. And just look at this. Here's motor oil. And right next to it, we have flour. Just so you can really see for yourself, this is flour, 25 kilograms worth. And here's everything for motorists. And right next to that, from what I can tell, we have pet food. But you know, I have a small dog myself. She's very old. Her name is Bonya, and I'll introduce you to her sometime. I certainly wouldn't buy food for her from this store. Don't open new packages. Sample available. Frying pans. Well, this store was always somewhat disorganized before, but to see it this completely chaotic, this terribly messy. I certainly haven't been to this store for a very long time, but I never expected to see such a disgraceful state of affairs. Let's continue walking. Here we have a section that's simultaneously for motorists, preserved foods, pet food, and flour. Now we'll head over to the confectionery section. The confectionery departments in Sopor stores have always been the largest, and that's still the case here. I haven't been to this store for a long time. Everything here comes in large bulk packages, sold by the kilogram, with brands that, to be honest, I don't even recognize, like Essen. It's always surprising when you come to this store, because you've basically never seen these manufacturers anywhere before. Look at this. Does this remind you of anything? It says Wonder of Wonders, but the packaging is clearly designed to look like the famous Twix chocolate bar, isn't it? Many people buy these candies to make their children happy, and it's specifically designed so that children would think it's original. People with lower incomes could put something on the table that looks similar to candies like Twix. The cookie packages are very interesting. It's unknown who produces them or what manufacturer they're from, but they sell these kinds of packages. And the only thing is, you just need to know what to buy here. You know, everyone probably knows the manufacturer Twix. Well, they're copying that too, see? They call it Twix. Although I think it has absolutely no connection to the famous brand. A whole package of Chupa Chups. Well, why not? Why not indeed? Baranki being sold by the bag full. I found a very interesting product here called lemon juice. This is such an interesting counterfeit. If I hadn't used the real product myself, I might have thought this was original, because the bottle looks very similar. Maybe you have something similar sold in your stores, but considering the shape, the labeling, and the price, and moreover, look, the bottle is transparent, while in the original packaging the bottle is opaque. But this is, of course, absolutely a counterfeit product. Sometimes this store really shocks you, because counterfeits are actually welcomed here. And people perfectly understand that everything sold here is basically all fake. But nevertheless, people keep buying these products simply because they're very cheap, affordable in price, although, of course, there are serious questions about the quality and ingredients. Regarding all these food products here, I probably wouldn't take the risk of buying anything from this place at all. When it comes to canned foods specifically, that's an entirely separate topic of discussion, because the canned goods here usually don't stand up to any kind of criticism whatsoever. I actually had this experience where I decided to buy a canned fish product here out of curiosity. You can see it rattling around there, just to understand what the actual quality would be like. And when I finally opened this can, I was absolutely shocked, I must tell you, because what was inside was completely incomprehensible. And after that experience, I made the firm decision not to risk buying any food products from this place ever again. But people are buying these products quite actively, and you can see the empty shelves. The packaging is deliberately made to look like the famous Bonduelle brand, and even the font is copying Bonduelle, although it's actually some unknown brand called Green Peas. It would be quite interesting to see what the quality of this one is actually like. But people are still buying it nonetheless. Look at these peaches in syrup here. You can clearly see the obvious bulging of the cans. If these peaches were of normal quality, they would be selling them at a much lower price because of this bulging. Every single can you pick up, you can see it's like this. We've skipped this row. Here they're selling winter boots with rubber soles. I'm not sure about the quality, but they're simply unsuitable for our winter conditions. All of this will crack. Galoshes. Sock sets. Matex men's socks. But by the feel of it, it's clearly all synthetic materials. I can't detect any cotton in these at all. Everything is just piled up in heaps here. What do we have here? They're even selling underwear. Pantyhose. You might think this is some kind of second-hand store, but it's not second-hand. This is actually new clothing being sold, all mixed up together like this. Here we also have t-shirts. You're probably used to stores where the merchandise is neatly arranged by brand names, by price, by product type. In this store, there's nothing like that, you can see. Everything is just thrown together in piles. This here is some kind of dress. Typically, if you need something specific, you'll have to really search to find it here. Well, let's go and take a look from the other side. House slippers, by the way. The house slippers look decent. Oh no, the sole is very thin. Interesting, you see. This separate box just sitting right on the ground. Take your pick, buy if you want, or just walk on by. The blankets feel very unpleasant to touch. They're quite stiff. Here we also have blankets for sale. What's written here? There are towels all mixed together and couch covers right next to them. Basically, people here don't worry about proper product placement or organization. Whoever needs something will find it themselves. Again, you can see, different towels are just piled up. And right next to them are bath loofahs, just so you understand. Very interesting store. And next to the loofahs, what do we have here? It's a pillow. Very thin, really awful looking. Well, this is supposed to be a sleeping pillow. A size 54 fufaika in different colors. And right here, they're selling electric kettles. I certainly wouldn't risk buying kettles here. Who knows who made them and what they're made of? It feels very light, very flimsy. It's plastic, not glass. And the manufacturer is completely unknown. Well, it seems dangerous to use a kettle like this. That's what I think. Floor mats and shovels for the house. And right next to them are barbecue molds. Overall, everything is very, very strange. And here are laundry basins too. This store is certainly unconventional, and I was quite surprised myself, and I think I'll be processing what I've seen here for a long time. It's simply impossible to get used to this. I'm really eager to hear in the comments whether you enjoy this type of videos or not. If you do, I can continue filming tours of other retail chains. Looking forward to your comments. This was Julie with you. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, hit the like button and share. Julie.